This project has been building and building and building and building since it launched in late 2017. And it's a little bit distinct from a lot of the ICO projects that launched in 2017. One, because it's still going, and two, because it's building real world infrastructure. To find the best cryptocurrency investments, check out Token Metrics. Use my affiliate link for a discount.
The world's most advanced cold wallet for the new generation of cryptocurrency lovers. Descent.
Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
Hey, Andreas, thank you so much for making yourself available.
Hello.
Hi, and you look like you're sitting, I don't know, atop some beautiful coastline, which I think is the case in Switzerland, isn't it? Has some remarkable coasts.
It's the Swiss coastline.
Now, you are the CEO and co-founder of Cajutel ICO, and they ICO'd in November, December 2017. I know I've been covering them ever since, and I hold Caj tokens. And what Cajutel are doing is building a network of solar-powered high-speed Wi-Fi towers in Sierra Leone, Guinea Bissau, and Guinea. So is there anything you want to add to what I've said, Andreas, about Cajutel?
Yeah, well, we're building and building and building, and we're moving forward slowly, but steadily.
Yes.
It's now getting better and better all the time.
It is indeed. It is indeed. I was just saying to Andreas before we started recording, I used to have to wait months and months and months and months for a video. And now I think in the last month, this is the second one in 1 month. So it does seem like things are accelerating.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, in Sierra Leone, we have built 4 towers now are in operation. There's 3 additional towers currently being built, and there's a big location being built for a data center. We're preparing that, so we're moving fast there. And we're now progressing on Guinea-Bissau and on Guinea as well. We've just been visiting Guinea this month to sort out some details about the license and so on. It's a complex situation there. But we found the right way how to do this and how to start building there as well now.
Right. This is, sorry, Guinea-Bissau or Guinea or both?
Well, actually, we went to Guinea-Bissau first, and then we went to Guinea. So, the problem is, if you want to build Guinea-Bissau, you're gonna have you need the backbone in Guinea, because you feed it from Guinea.
Right.
Because Guinea-Bissau doesn't have any sea cable access. It doesn't have any fiber also. So you have to build microwaves all the way to Conakry, which is like 300 kilometers or so. So it's quite a planning to do this. Now in Guinea, however, there is fiber by the state, and that fiber is relatively new. It has been built by the state, and now they are selling or they are leasing it to internet providers, and they're asking ridiculous prices. And that was a big debate, a political debate, because all the internet providers said, well, at this price, I'm not going to buy. So the state has built an excessive fiber network and nobody uses it. And but now the government has changed a bit and they have come down with the prices. It's still relatively high, but it's still worthwhile if we have enough bandwidth on it. For the small bandwidth, it's tricky to make it profitable. But if you reach something like 10 gigabit or so, then it starts to be usable. So our goal is to actually fill 10 gigabit.
Okay, Andreas, I'm just going to stop you there because what I want to do is share my screen and get the maps of the countries out, because I think that'll certainly help me understand this and locate everything, and might help the viewers as well. If you just hold on 1 second, please. Okay, so I've got the map up, and what we've got here is Sierra Leone, where you're active. You've got 4 towers and 3 more to build. Then Guinea, which is a much, much bigger country, looping around down south to Liberia, and Guinea-Bissau here, much smaller. And you're saying to get going in Guinea-Bissau, you need to start working in Guinea, because that's where the cables are, the really expensive brand new cables. And I said at the beginning that this project is distinct in a couple of ways. One, that it's still going, unlike many ICO projects from 2017, but also because you're building something concrete, like real physical, solar-powered Wi-Fi towers, which require concrete and metal and equipment from all over the world, and to be, it's not like you're writing computer code to build an online decentralized exchange or something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So please carry on.
Yeah. So we visited Bissau to sort out some legal details and planning on how we are building there. The problem is Bissau doesn't have any fiber, so it's not connected to the sea fiber. It's not connected. It doesn't have any fiber inside the country yet. So the next exit point to the internet is basically Conakry or Banjul, and we are planning to connect it to Conakry first. But that means we have to build our network in Guinea first, or at least the part which brings us to Bissau. So we have been talking to the government about leasing fiber capacity inside Guinea up to the border to Bissau, and then build 7 towers to get into the city of Bissau. And we more or less have sorted out the location of those, and are now in the process of ordering the towers, getting them shipped, getting the equipment, and so on.
Well, where do you order the towers from? China?
No, we have several sources. We have one source from Egypt, and then we have another source from Lithuania, or no, Latvia. But I think they build it in Russia. And there's different sources. China is also a source, and the problem is with the China is you don't know what you're really getting.
Right.
So
quality isn't so good.
No, that's not really the point. They just sell you whatever they want you to sell you, and then you realize it's not the right thing you need.
Right.
And then you're basically stuck with it.
Right. Okay. So you're going to build from Conakry into Bissau, Guinea-Bissau.
Yes.
Why not just start building in Guinea? Why reach out to Guinea-Bissau first?
Because Guinea-Bissau is in a more interesting market in terms of population, in terms of need.
How so?
Because they have much worse internet today.
Right.
And if you go there and provide a good service, you basically get everything everyone as a customer. In Guinea, there's quite a bit of competition already, at least in Conakry, in the capital. But Guinea is also on the radar to go onto the countryside. But Guinea is big, so it's going to take a lot more towers to service Guinea. So our plan is basically to go from Conakry towards the north in direction of Bissau, and then there's a city called Bokeh, which is not far from the border, where there's lots of mining companies and so on, which is an interesting place to be. So we're going to serve that city, and then go north in direction of Bissau, and then do all the rest as we go. Right. And just to say, I just want to say, because I didn't mention this, is that you've just recently returned, I think about a week ago, from a trip to Sierra Leone and Guinea-Bissau and Guinea. Yes. Okay. Now, the last time you and I spoke, there'd been a coup, I think, in Guinea-Bissau. Yeah, there was a coup d'etat, as they call it. So there were some people attacking the government, trying to throw over the government, but they didn't succeed. Right. So things have settled down. It's stable now. Yeah. The thing is, in Guinea-Bissau, this is we have another coup d'etat. It's like business as usual. They had that so many times before. But I'm sorry, Andreas. I do know that from my time in Pakistan. Oh, the military have taken over again. Yeah. So we were actually in a hotel 200 meters away from the presidential palace, and we had a meeting there in the morning. We had somebody from, what is it called, security department or whatever. We wanted to discuss with him some communications for the state, and so we went out of this meeting, went back to the hotel, and then it's 2 hours later we heard that there was an attack, and it was basically the place we have been before. Right. I haven't seen anything except empty streets. My colleagues have heard gunfire. Right. So, and this was the previous visit, not the one just now, right? No, this was the one just now. Oh, okay. So that was a couple of weeks back. Okay. And so they were trying to overthrow, but they didn't succeed. A few people got killed. But as far as the country goes, it's business as usual.
Yes.
So everything continued normally. I think they didn't have, this recommended us to go out for a day. But then 2 days later, everything came back to normal. But inside the government, it's probably wasn't normal. They were very busy suddenly.
Sure. Okay. All right. So sorry, please carry on with Cajutel's operations.
Okay. So so we looked at how we're going to build those towers, where we're going to put them, what the options are to actually lay fiber ourselves. That's something we're looking into. That doesn't work the way one would expect, because in Europe it's just you need to have the trespassing rights to lay the fiber, and you make an agreement with the owner of the terrain, which often is the state. In Guinea-Bissau, this is not the case, because they basically say the state-owned telecom company has the monopoly for the fiber, but the state-owned telecommunication company is basically bankrupt.
Right.
So they're gonna, sell that to someone, and that someone will then build fiber, and then maybe you're gonna have fiber in 10 years or so. So we just plan ahead and say, okay, we'll build all the microwaves with high capacity. And that actually means we have to build a lot of microwaves, because if you want to go high capacity, then you have to have microwave links which are shorter than 20 kilometers. So that's a little bit.
Well, Andreas, it's suddenly becoming clear to me about why Guinea-Bissau has no decent Wi-Fi system.
Yeah, that's the thing, then we did the calculation on pricing, also for Conakry, because we basically came to the conclusion that, okay, the price is basically three parts. The first part is to get from Conakry to Europe, Paris or Lisbon, to connect into our backbone. So that's one cost. The other cost is to get from Conakry to wherever the fiber inside the country ends. And the third cost is the cost to transport from that endpoint to the tower where we serve the customer. And the biggest cost is actually the cost of the international cable from Conakry to Europe and the fiber inside the country. So we put all those costs together, and the problem is, because the state has paid way too much to build that fiber in Guinea, they charge an arm and a leg for that fiber, and they now have come down like 20% or so, but it's still a lot of money. And I calculated the price, and I was coming to the conclusion that it's like, this is not going to work because it's too expensive. But then we calculated what our prices would be, and we ended up that our prices is still attractive for businesses, because they pay even more today.
Right.
So, which means we're going to start with businesses first before we attack the private people, because the prices for private people are just a little bit too high in Guinea.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit interesting to compare it to Sierra Leone, because in Sierra Leone, our prices are cheaper. But when we go to high volumes, they don't drop a lot. So when we have low volume, Sierra Leone is cheaper. When we have high volume, Guinea is cheaper. So, well, okay. That's, pricing politics, and it's going to change anyway.
Now, are you able to say approximately what the cost would be of building the cables from Conakry into Guinea-Bissau?
Well, the cable is there to the border. We just have to lease it. And then to build 7 towers to connect Bissau to that cable, that's going to cost us something like $500,000 to $750,000 or so.
Right.
I mean, okay. I'm usually calculating one tower costs us like $100,000, because it's not only just the tower, it's the electricity production. So you have to calculate the solar panels, you have to calculate the shipment, you have to calculate the antennas, the batteries. So there's no big cost on an individual item. It's just an assembly of a lot of small items adding to the cost. So, and when you have microwaves doing 10 gigabits, they are not that cheap. I mean, normal microwaves you pay maybe $1,000 to $2,000, but for 10 gig you might pay $20,000.
Right.
Something.
Okay. So we're talking about, let's say $750,000, right? Now, Cajutel raised if I remember correctly, $600,000 in the ICO.
No, it was 600 ether at the time. It was about $100,000.
Okay, so it's even less, $100,000. So how come you're still going?
It comes because I've put my own money into it to get it going. Secondly, in Sierra Leone, we have customers who pay us money to build. So we are just like breaking even in Sierra Leone. If we would not continue building, we would be profitable in Sierra Leone. But because we are building constantly, we're still negative. But yeah, that's going to change. I mean, we have a couple of customers in the pipeline, big customers who have like 5, 6, 7 sites, which we want to connect. And they are paying good money. So finally get to the profitable zone in Sierra Leone, which allows us then to continue inwards.
Yes. And Andreas, just to say, because I know a lot of people like myself, Caj holders, are waiting for the reward payment and stuff. But you were very, very straight and upfront in 2017, and it was in the white paper as well, that this is going to take time. This is this is a long-term project because it's an infrastructure project. I have no idea how long it takes to drive or the distance between Bissau and Freetown. But I imagine, Africa is a pretty big place. So
to drive. Yeah, well, Bissau to Conakry is like 350 to 400 kilometers. Conakry to Freetown is another 200 kilometers.
Yeah.
The problem is really, it's not the distance, it's the quality of the road.
The quality of the road, the terrain, the lack of infrastructure, including the lack of the poor bureaucratic infrastructure as well. So you've got all these impediments. So this is going to take time, but we are building in virgin territory. And then the other thing I think that I want to mention in this video is that you do have a successful track record of building out IT infrastructure projects. You've done that in Switzerland and you've also done that in Iceland. And I think you've come to West Africa because it's warmer than both those places.
I come to Western Africa because there's business there. If you go to a country where everybody has internet, you cannot sell a lot.
That's right.
You have to convince somebody to drop his existing subscription and come to your infrastructure. That's a much difficult sale than to say, hey, I'm the first one, I'll give you internet, and you can now use it for the next 25 years.
Yes. Well, Andreas, that you say that suggests you're a more successful business person than I am, because I say it was for the warm weather, but you're actually looking at it from a business point of view. But I am here in cold, windy England. Anyway, but yeah, it is virgin territory. There isn't much in the way of competition. And I know in my conversations with Fode about how in Sierra Leone, Cajutel is providing a better service, better customer service at much, much lower rates than the competitors. So of course, big businesses and organizations are coming over. Anyway, please carry on.
Okay, so we have experienced all these coup d'etat things in Guinea-Bissau, and then we moved to Conakry to meet with the regulatory there, to meet with banks, to meet with governments, because we're trying to sell additional stuff to the government as well. Like, if we build all those towers, the government could use them as, for their own infrastructure, like for police radios or other things. So we're trying to sell that as well to make it much easier also. To make it profitable, because if you have somebody who leases something from your tower, you save cost.
Right, additional revenue stream.
Yeah. So that's what we have been doing, and doing all the recalculations about the fiber costs and so on, and a lot of number crunching. So, but we're making progress, and we're just about to order the towers for Bissau and to start building there, because we want to get customers connected as soon as possible. Yes. And if we do it right, if we bring the big capacity to Bissau, then of course we can also sell to the other internet providers which are there. I mean, by the other internet providers, I mean the mobile operators. They also need capacity, and they don't have capacity much over the border. So if we come with big capacity, we have the potential to sell to them as well.
Right.
If we want to, but
why
not?
And when do you reckon the building the first lot of building will start in Guinea?
That's still going to take a couple of months because the tower has to first be produced. I think they have like shipping times of 3 months or so, because they're steel. And we plan to buy a specific type of tower. You know, there's easy towers and there's more complex towers. The easy towers are basically you take a steel profile in the shape of an L, and then you just screw them together, and then you can very quickly build a tower. But they have some disadvantages. Disadvantages, for example, is they're difficult to transport because you have long pieces. Also, they're more easy to rust. So you have to take precautions that they don't break over time. And you might need cranes to build them up. So we have specifically looked at a tower which you can transport very easy and you can mount with less tools. Because we have some locations in Guinea, for example, where you have to go up to a high mountain and you cannot drive there. You have to carry it by humans or by, horses or something like this up to the hill to build it up there. And then if you have the wrong type of tower, you cannot get it up there. You would need a helicopter or so, which you cannot get in those countries. So it's trickier than you think. So you can get a tower for maybe $10,000, or you can get a tower for $25,000. The one for $10,000 is easily shipped to you, but then when you want to reassemble it on the hill, then you have lots of problems, and it takes you much more work to do that than the other tower, which costs more.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought it? All these things.
Yeah, and then you have to have the right size of the tower. Usually they're like 25 to 35 meters. We're planning with 25-meter towers and 35-meter towers, and in some exceptional cases maybe 50. But that's really, really high. And then you have to calculate the wind load, because if you put a lot of antennas at the top, the wind is going to press onto that tower, and you don't want the tower to bend or even shake. Because if it starts shaking because of the wind, then your microwaves are losing signal.
Right.
It's not even breaking the tower, but just like waving it a little bit can create you problems.
Okay.
So all this has to be taken into account. And then, things like you have to put lights on top of the tower for the airplanes, and lightning strike protection, and proper grounding, and so on.
Yep. And then provide backup power sources for that as well, all at the same time. Because even though it's solar powered, but I imagine there is the odd cloudy day.
Yeah, well, you basically just have enough battery backup.
Right.
Because you need that for the night anyway.
Yeah.
So, so we have like massive solar panels to create enough energy, and then you need enough batteries to actually store the energy. And there you have to use lithium batteries, because if you use the typical lead acid batteries like you have in cars, which are like 1/3 of the price, they don't run that well in hot weather. So you end up having to replace them in 5 years. So you're better off buying more expensive batteries, because they last then more than 15 years. They last 20, 30 years or so.
Okay. All right. So you've got all these technical considerations that most people won't know about. Certainly I don't know about. And I imagine most of the token holders don't know about. But there's also the operational considerations, because you'll have to, I imagine, set up a team in Guinea to get the work going there, have somebody take care of operations the way that Fode does in Sierra Leone, or is he going to be moving over to Guinea, taking care of both?
No, he's going to be very busy in Sierra Leone. We have some people in Bissau now. We're sure going to have to extend this team. And we have to build another team in Conakry. And we have an employee who is running around all the time, getting all those people. But we have some people in Conakry as well, where we host our address and so on, and they assist us. but they're not specialized in this. So we're going to need specialized people in any case for Conakry as well.
Okay. And then when are you planning to go out there again?
That's a good question. I have not planned anything. I think Foday is planning in 2 or 3 months. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give my engineers some training. So, but this one we're doing in Istanbul because I have another operation there. So we're flying in all the engineers into Istanbul and doing 1 week of training. So they're up to speed with all the networking issues. And then we'll see. Okay. Depends on a lot of things, especially in Bissau. If the government changes again, everything can happen. It's like we've been running around in this area. It's like we've been to Bissau, to Guinea, to Sierra Leone, to Bamako, and so on. And it's like you go to one country and suddenly, oh, there's a new government there. Like in Mali, there's a new government. In Burkina Faso, there's a new government. In Guinea, there's a new one. In Bissau, there's a new one. The only one which was stable so far was in Sierra Leone.
Right. Now, you mentioned Mali and Burkina Faso. It's not that. Are you planning to do anything out there? Like, I mean, that'll be.
No, I just visited those two countries for other projects, unrelated to Cajutel, and of course, we always look if that would be an option there. But so far, Mali might be an interesting place because there's quite some fiber there. They are served by Senegal, I think, so their connectivity to the world is not that bad. In Burkina Faso, it's much worse. At least that was my experience there. But that's maybe it's just that hotel or just that mobile operator which I used. But it's difficult places there. Yes, especially right now.
Yes. Okay. All right. Now, anything else you want to let people know?
Well, our token is still for sale. If you want to buy some tokens, it's a good time now because we still have some tokens from the ICO, and that would actually help us to build faster. Because the original plan, which we had in our IPO and ICO document, we were assuming that we get all the money to build everything, and we didn't get that money. We only got like $100,000, and we built what we can with those $100,000, and we are getting quite far so far with this. But if we would have the full money available, then we could build much faster.
Okay.
And reach profitability much higher and much quicker.
Okay, and that would be from Mercatox, where people can get Kaj tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the problem that I find with not just with Kaj, but with any ERC20 tokens are the gas fees. Mm-hmm. It's just ridiculously expensive to send, especially relative to other chains like Binance Smart Chain or any of the Cosmos assets. Are there any plans to wrap the Kaj tokens and put it in PancakeSwap or something? Have liquidity pools there? I
have not looked into that, but there's an easy way to avoid this. Just transfer high amounts.
That's right. It's a very good point. So if someone's buying $20 worth of Kaj and it costs $20 to move it, then it ain't worth it. But if someone's buying $20,000 worth of Kaj, then then a $20 transaction fee is not an issue. All right. But only after doing due diligence and checking it out. And this is not investment advice. Okay. Andreas, anything else you want to let us know?
No, that's all for now.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for taking the time out and for zooming in from the beautiful Swiss coast. And I look forward to speaking to you again. And, for those of you who are interested in this project or already involved in this project, please comments, questions in the description below. Go join the Telegram group, go check it out. And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with crypto profits. This is Crypto Rich and Crypto Andreas signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.